Hey there, it's Trent from the Online Income Lab here, and in this video I want to share with you my exact online, my strategy for making money online. So there's a couple of things there's a couple of different sites that I build, so let's talk about that first. So if you're brand new, the very first thing that I would suggest you do is you learn how to build niche sites and you learn how to monetize those sites with ADSENSE. So why do that? Well, number one is that niche sites are fairly easy to build. They're quick. You can build them in a day, a couple of days. They are fairly easy to get ranked in Google and the other search engines. And so that looks after kind of building the site and getting traffic. It's not very hard to do once you understand. There's a few basic strategies, but once you understand them, they're not very hard to do. And ADSENSE is by far the easiest way for you to make your first $1,000 online. And the other thing that I really like about ADSENSE is that it is among the most passive forms of income that are available to you, the online marketer. And I don't know about you, but for me, there's nothing I love more than having my income come in on autopilot. So the next type of site that I build, and I actually learned this from a good friend of mine by the name of Nate, is we'll call these video training sites. And I monetize with my own product. So again, these are small niche sites. They're targeted to a specific key phrase. And the search volume, generally when I'm building a niche site, I'm going after a keyword, a primary keyword that has, I want to see 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 searches a month. And then I'm going to pick a bunch of related keywords because I want to try and get 100 to 200 people a day to come to that website. Because with AdSense, I'm only making maybe 50 cents, 70 cents, a dollar per click. So you need a fair amount of traffic to get the clicks so that it's going to make you, $30, $40 a month, $50 a month, or maybe more. And much more is possible, by the way. My top AdSense site regularly pulls in between $700 and $800 a month, and I have friends who have AdSense sites that are pulling in the thousands per month. With these video training sites, you only need 100 to 200 searches per month. So the competition for a keyword with only 1 to 200 searches per month is really, really low, which means getting these sites into the #1 position on Google is really not very hard at all. And then you want to have a product that serves their need, delivered in a video format, that's going to sell typically for $47, and then there is a $77 upsell where they get extra information. So this is really great, but you need to create this product. And there's a process to that. You can do it yourself. You can outsource it. It takes more time and much more effort to do. And my friend Nate, he has a course that teaches exactly how to do this, and below this video there will be a link to that course and you can go and check it out. I also interviewed Nate on one of my previous podcasts, and I'll put a link to that under this video as well. But I've never met anybody who is doing this particular strategy before, and I think that it's absolutely a brilliant strategy. And then the third thing that I do, and that's why you're watching this video, is I blog. I love teaching people how to make money online. It's a huge passion of mine. I've got the best lifestyle I've ever had in my entire life. And in case you don't know me, before I was doing this, I was the CEO of a company that I started. We were doing millions a year in sales. I had 2 offices, one in Vancouver and one in Seattle, and I had employees and shareholders and a pile of bank debt. There was a lot of moving parts. I won all sorts of awards for the company being one of the fastest growing companies in Canada, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? I love my life so much more now because I don't have all those moving parts. And I don't have employees that are expecting me to show up at the office every day. And so as a result of that, I'm pretty passionate about this whole concept of making money online. And so I blog about it, and I create podcasts about it, and I'm building a mailing list and all of that, where I don't charge people to come to my blog, but I do have a variety of ways that I monetize that traffic, and it's starting to become a fairly lucrative income stream. And then so far I've built one of these, and I absolutely am going to build more. I built a membership site, and it's called Niche Site Mastery, and there'll be links to it here on the blog. Below the video I'll put a link. And this has been a wildly successful product for me. Now, to be honest with you, when I first built it, I really didn't know how I was going to sell memberships or anything like that. I didn't actually build it for that reason. I built it because in the process of building a bunch of these, I wanted to outsource everything, because I'm big on getting other people to do the repetitive work for me, because I don't find it very interesting, to be honest with you. I'm much more, I get a lot more enjoyment out of doing podcast interviews or making videos like this or figuring out this strategy. For me, that's what the fun is, or just taking time off. I like that too. But building niche sites over and over and over again, I didn't want to do. So if I was going to have other people build niche sites for me, I needed a place where I would be able to store all the training for them to do that. So I made all sorts of videos, and I wrote documents and screenshots, and here's how you do this, and do this, do this, and do this, so that the virtual assistants, or VAs, and mine are in the Philippines, that work for me, would simply be able to log on to this website, go to the section that I pointed them to, follow the instructions, and they would execute what I wanted them to do in the precise fashion that I wanted it done. So over time, I started to figure out how it became kind of obvious to me that other people would want to gain access to this body of knowledge that I'd accumulated over, by that point, it's probably 6 or 7 months. And so I started to sell memberships to Niche Site Mastery, and this has actually become quite successful, and every single month it goes up and I get more and more members. So, and now I have ideas for other products and other membership sites and so forth. And so I will definitely continue to do this because it's a very effective strategy. So these 4, I guess you could call them cornerstones or legs, make up the support for the table of my online income strategy. So I spend a lot of time doing what I teach. I give some of that information away in a kind of an unstructured format. And the blog allows me to talk about other things too, like personal development and goal setting, and on just things that aren't necessarily specific to how to do this and how to do this. And the membership site is super specific. It's very structured. It's step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. Step 3, do this. And the reason for that is that people need structure to learn. If we didn't, nobody would go to university. We would just go on the internet, or we would go to the library, and we would self-educate ourselves. But the problem with that would be like showing up at university and there's this room and it's full of textbooks, or they just throw them all at you and say, good luck, we'll test you in 4 years. Nobody would pass. Nobody would have the discipline to get through it. Nobody would finish it. And that's why a membership site is so successful, is because it gives people structure for their learning. So there it is for you, my online money-making strategy. There will be more webinars to come where I maybe go into further detail on all of these points. If you are curious, all you have to do is keep an eye on your email inbox and they will come to you. Thanks very much for watching. And if you have any questions, please use either the contact form or the comment form. If you're watching this video on a page that has a contact form below it, please do fill out the question. And if you're watching this video on something other than the Online Income Lab, you can go to the Online Income Lab, that's onlineincomelab.com, to watch more videos like this one. And I look forward to interacting with you soon. Thanks very much.